Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to News Dose. And yeah, all right, so we got another rumor to talk about regarding Xbox games heading to the PlayStation 5. You know, this is something that we have seen throughout the year, but every single time one of these rumors pops up, people go absolutely bonkers over it. So I understand that some people get a little annoyed by these rumors, but it is something that we need to talk about, and I'll give you my thoughts about what I believe will happen. Though I will say this much, I'm not convinced that this is going to be as big as a lot of people are currently speculating online. Now, we also got some good news for PlayStation, as a very welcome game announced a partnership with them. As always, though, do make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like this type of content. There's still about 50% of you who aren't subscribed, so go ahead and make sure to change that today. But with that said, let's just go and jump right into things, starting off with Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I know there's been some skepticism around this game, especially with its art style, but it is still one of the biggest franchises set for 2024, and they just dropped a brand new trailer with a release date. You can see the trailer here, and there does seem to be some more positive reception this time compared to some of its previous trailers. I mean, even for myself, I do think that it looks a little bit better here. I don't know if it's by much, but I do think that this was a much better put together trailer than what we've seen from them in the past. This probably should have been their initial trailer in the first place. But yeah, fans are already diving into all of its Easter eggs and the little snippets of characters that they revealed. I'll ask you, though, if you've been a longtime Dragon Age fan, let me know what you all think about this trailer. Did it win you over, or are you still skeptical like a lot of people have been? Either which way, though, the good news here is that it's officially slated for October 31st. So, you know, we're not going to have to wait all of that much longer. I mean, you Dragon Age fans have waited long enough, I'd have to say, by this point. And now it's only a few short months away, and then we can officially decide if that long wait was worth it. Now, speaking of long waits, something very interesting popped up for the long-awaited Red Dead Redemption PC port. It's honestly baffling that this hasn't happened yet, but according to a new leak from PSN, out of all places, I know, that's a very weird place to leak a PC game, but apparently they updated Red Dead Redemption's description on their store, and you can read it here. It says, experience the epic Western adventures that defined a generation, now on PC for the first time ever. Then if you scroll down, it continues to say, featuring the complete single-player experiences of both games, including bonus content from the Game of the Year edition. Red Dead Redemption features all of the 2023 console version upgrades, plus PC-specific enhancements, including support for increased resolutions and frame rates, multiple displays, and other accessories, plus spatial surround sound. So I'm not really sure how this leaked out the way that it did. It's very weird for the PC description to appear on the PlayStation Store, out of all places. Sounds like somebody may have messed up somewhere on the back end. Again, I'm not really entirely sure, but if this is true, this could indicate an imminent announcement. And hey, with Gamescom right around the corner, that's a place to maybe pay attention to. Again, that showcase is really starting to shape up. My excitement continues to build for Gamescom. Now, we also got a release date for the Persona 3 Reload expansion. This here is the expansion that a lot of fans have been waiting for because it's a significant story add-on about Aegis. A lot of fans were actually disappointed when this wasn't included in the base game, which I think is a fair critique. I mean, for one, it would have been nice to have a complete game on disc. But yeah, welcome to modern gaming, where companies like to gouge us for as much money as they possibly can. It's not even a surprise anymore. But I will say this much, at least for you Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, you all are the ones that truly went out here, because just like the base game, this DLC does come included with your subscription. If I'm remembering this correctly, I believe you have to redeem it as a part of your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate perks. So if you are subscribed, you need to make sure to claim that. Even if you don't own the game, just go claim it over on the perks, and then after that, you'll own it forever. This new expansion, though, will be out on September 10th for all platforms where Persona 3 Reload is available. Okay, so while we're on the topic of Xbox, another big rumor exploded online last night, and this does come from a reputable source, or actually two in this case, and then one other that chimed in to expand on some of the speculation that's since been going around. So first off, I do understand. I know that some people get a little bit annoyed by these rumors at times. I get it because the speculation, it does get out of hand. But when you have multiple trusted insiders that says the same thing, then you really can't blame people for talking about it. At the end of the day, Xbox kind of welcomed this speculation when they started this semi, but not completely multi-platform strategy that they unleashed earlier this year. I said it as soon as they announced that, and I'll go and say it again here. They kind of opened Pandora's box. But I will say, as of the making of this video, I believe most of the speculation that's currently going around right now is wrong. I'll get into that here in just a second. But first, let's go and take a look at where this rumor originated. So it actually came from Shinobi, which has a great track record, and then Nate the Hate, which was the first person that broke news about Hi-Fi Rush for the PlayStation 5. Both of them seems to be teasing another Xbox port over on Resetera, and Shinobi just flat out responded to somebody asking about multiple ports, and he said, and I quote, "I don't know about multiple, but a big one at least." So immediately, everybody took that phrase big, and they just ran with it. Suddenly, people were speculating that Halo was coming over to PlayStation, or maybe it was Gears of War, or Starfield. And then after all of that, everybody seemingly settled on Forza Horizon 5, or at least until Jez Corden chimed in with some of his own news. He confirmed through his sources that Forza is not the game that Shinobi is referring to. And this is where I find leak culture to be very annoying. I'm not a big fan when leakers tease, "I know something that you don't." And all they really do is put out a vague comment that will no doubt create hysteria online, which is exactly what has happened here. Now, do I believe, Shinobi, that another Xbox game is coming to the PlayStation 5? Well, I'm definitely not surprised because Xbox has already settled on this, again, semi-multi-platform approach, and they've had success with games like Sea of Thieves. So I don't think that it's surprising by this point, but I feel like his vague comment and the way that he worded it just welcomed a lot of hysteria that didn't necessarily need to happen. Now, if Halo, Gears, Forza, or Starfield gets announced for the PS5 sometime soon, then you can kind of say how I was wrong. But if I were to guess which game could get the PS5 treatment, there's 4 other games that comes to mind. 2 are new, and 2 are old. If it's a newer game, the first one that comes to mind is Flight Simulator. Technically, this is a big game, but I don't think that it's the type of game that Xbox fans would necessarily get upset about if it was available on other consoles. And I can also say the same thing about any of the Age of Empire games. Now, as for older games, State of Decay 2 and Killer Instinct comes to mind. If you remember, Xbox, for the first time in a long time, updated Killer Instinct last year, and that was big for that community. But much like Sea of Thieves, Killer Instinct really is the type of game that needs a big community to thrive. So PlayStation could actually benefit the Killer Instinct community, whereas State of Decay 2, I could see them bringing that over to kind of garner more interest for State of Decay 3, which will remain an Xbox exclusive. So those right now are my 4 guesses. All 4, like Shinobi said, are technically big games, but that's also why I said I don't think that it's going to be as big of a game as people are currently speculating online. Right now, I'm not expecting it to be Halo, Gears, Forza, or Starfield. But, I guess we'll see soon enough. Let me know what you all think, though. Do you have any guesses as to what he could be referring to, or do you even believe the rumor in the first place? Okay, now we got one last story to talk about, and this is actually for a Day 1 PlayStation Plus Extra game. We usually talk about Day 1 Game Pass games, but here, Sony stepped up a little bit with a very, very nice inclusion. This is for the Plucky Squire, which has been one of the most anticipated independent games since its initial reveal. It really does look like an amazing game, and a very unique one at that. Much like a lot of you, I've had this one on my radar for a very, very long time. It almost seems like it plays out like a chapter book where you go from a 2D environment to 3D, and it really is just such a cool and interesting idea. It's one of those games that when you see it, you just kind of hope that it plays as good as it looks, because if it does, this really could be a very special game when it releases next month on September 17th. Yeah, we actually got a release date and everything, and do keep in mind that the Plucky Squire will be available everywhere. It's on PC, it's on Xbox, Nintendo, and also on PlayStation, which now includes PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. So even if you don't have PlayStation Plus Extra, you'll still be able to play this remarkable looking game. And I have to say, by this point, September is really starting to shape up to be a fun month. I know that 2024 has been kind of an off year for gaming, but next month we have Astrobot. That game looks amazing. The Plucky Squire, Buckaroo, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, the Persona 3 expansion that we talked about earlier, Age of Mythology, and there's also rumors that the Starfield expansion might release as well. So finally, gaming is heating up once again, and I am all for it. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode, but until next time, subscribe, and peace out.